Hi everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience, and I'm here tonight with my review of the Philips SHP9500 headphone. These currently retail for $89.99, and I'm trying to get some more reasonably priced headphones in my reviews. I basically review things that are sent to me on loan, and a lot of companies want to send out their flagship headphones. And that's great for me as a reviewer. I get to listen to and spend time with these headphones, but not everyone can afford $2,000 or $3,000 headphones. So I try to get some lower price models in once in a while, like the Grotto SR80E or these. And so anyway, that's the direction I'm going tonight. And these are a full-size open back over-the-ear design. They use a 50 millimeter dynamic driver. They have an impedance of 32 ohms and a sensitivity of 101 decibels at 1 milliwatt. These weigh in at a very light 282 grams according to my kitchen scale. They use a single-ended or a single-sided cable. It is detachable, but it connects only to the left ear cup, and he uses a 3.5 millimeter stereo connection. And at the other end is also 3.5 millimeter with a 6.3 millimeter adapter. The cable, according to the specifications, the cable that comes with this is supposed to be 3 meters long. The cable that came with mine was only about 1 meter long, but I did not buy these from a dealer. I got them from a member of my headphone group, the Headphone Experience, and they were brand new, but they did not come in the original box, and the cable might not have been the original cable that came with them. So that's why I didn't show you the cable, because I'm not sure if it was the one that comes with these. Anyway, I wanted to show you the headphone. They adjust by sliding up and down. There's clicks. It's real easy to move, but it's also, once you get them adjusted, it's kind of easy to lose your adjustment spot because they do move pretty easy. The ear cups swivel a bit in this direction, and they also swivel in this direction. And you can probably see here that the driver, I'll try to get this so you can see it. The driver is angled, so it comes in from the front a little bit, which could help to move the soundstage forward a little bit. The ear pads are cloth covered and pretty soft, reasonably thick, and the headband is also cloth covered. Like I said earlier, they're very light, and they have a convenient L and R on them, so you know which way to put them on, besides from the fact that the cable hooks to the left side, so that makes it pretty obvious too. But anyway, they are very light, they're very comfortable, they're easy to get adjusted properly, and to be honest, I barely feel them on my head. One of the lightest headphones I've tried so far, and I'd say almost definitely the lightest full-size over-the-ear design. Getting to the sound, I would say that the tone balance is pretty much neutral. I'm not hearing anything really emphasized or anything really missing in the tone balance. I would say these have a very neutral tone balance. You know, just really well balanced, and no peaks, no valleys that I really hear. The frequency extension is very good on these. They definitely reach up into the, upper treble. They've got a, very good extension on the top, and surprisingly to me, they have pretty good extension on the bottom too. These actually get pretty deep into the sub bass. Gotta say, I was surprised and impressed. These do really have decent sub bass on them. I guess the 50 millimeter drivers help, but being, it's light and, being open back and all that, I wasn't expecting the sub bass to be what it was. The mids, I would say, are pretty well balanced. They blend in well with the treble and the bass. Like I said, just very neutral tone balance. The mids are, I'd say, they're just a little bit on the dry side to me. Especially notice this in female vocals. I don't know. I don't know if dry is the right word, but just it's not. Some other headphones I've described as sort of a creamy, rich mid-range, and these are not like that. The details there, nothing missing in the mid-range, but just, like I said, I guess the best way I can describe it's just a little bit on the dry side. The treble I would describe as clean, well extended, has good sparkle, good detail. No complaints at all about the treble, but yet it doesn't really come across as harsh. I mean, it's not perfect, but this is a $90 headphone, and for the price, I would say, the treble is great on these headphones. The detail and resolution, I would say, is pretty good. It's not the best I've ever heard, but like I said, this is a $90 headphone. The detail is there. I'm hearing everything, but I think in the mid-range, I'm hearing just a little bit of graininess. I guess that would be more under resolution. It kind of like, I would say, kind of like comparing a DVD to a Blu-ray, where, a higher end headphone would have the resolution of a Blu-ray, where this would be more like the resolution of a DVD compared to something like, say, the Hi-Fi Man Sundara, something like that. Like I said, it just doesn't have quite the smoothness. The imaging, I would say, is pretty good, pretty precise. I definitely can, hear what direction different instruments are coming from. There seems to be pretty good separation. The soundstage is not huge, but I would say, pretty decent. Once again, comparing it to something more expensive, shortly after listening to this, the other night I listened to the Kennerton Odin, which is a $2,100 headphone. And I mean, the soundstage was huge on that compared to this, but 22 times the price or whatever, almost 25 times the price. So not a fair comparison at all. So I would say for the price, a $90 headphone, the soundstage is pretty good size and pretty impressive. I guess I'll compare this to a couple of other headphones. Up until now, my primary budget audiophile headphone that I've recommended would be the Grotto. I guess a lot of people could pronounce it Grado, but anyway, the SR80E. If someone was looking for an audiophile headphone, something, that was neutral and had good detail and all that, but their budget was under $100, I would always recommend the SR80E. To tell you the truth, this headphone gives it some serious competition. I would say actually, the Philips has a better, more neutral tone balance than the Grotto. The Grotto, in my opinion, the treble is a little bit too bright and the bass is a little thin and lacking, and this fixes both of those problems. This has better bass extension, and the treble, the extension is real good on this headphone. The Grotto can get a little harsh in the treble. It's just a little bit too bright for me, and I actually prefer headphones with slightly bright treble. But this one is just more well-balanced in my opinion. Another headphone that I compared this to, and not exactly a fair comparison, is the Hi-Fi Man Sundara. And the Sundara currently sells, I believe, for $350. It was a $500 headphone at one time. surprisingly to me, this headphone sounds quite similar to the Sundara. I mean, not as good, but it has a similar tone balance. In fact, I think this goes a little bit deeper into the sub bass than the Sundara does. So the tone balance is kind of the same, and this headphone has good detail, not as good as the Sundara. The Sundara has exceptional detail, but it's getting there. The biggest difference I could hear between this and the Sundara is the Sundara just sounded a lot smoother and just didn't have the graininess that this does. And to tell you the truth, I really didn't notice the graininess in the mid-range until I did listen to the Sundara that has a very smooth mid-range, and that graininess was gone. So that's where I did notice it a little bit in this headphone, but if I hadn't compared it to the Sundara, I probably wouldn't have noticed it at all. Is there anything I don't like about this headphone? Like I said, parts of the mid-range, upper mid-range, just they don't sound liquid and flowing to me, and I described it earlier as being a little bit on the dry side, and I guess that's how I would describe female vocals. They just don't have that creamy richness that I, prefer, but the headphones that I've heard that give me that have been quite a bit more expensive. So, so for the price, this headphone is doing a very good job in my opinion. And then I also noticed up in the, I would say mid-treble, just a tiny little bit of sibilance at times, just some of the sounds just kind of, had sort of a S sound on the end of them, just kind of a S to them. And I didn't hear it very often, just occasionally with cymbals or occasionally some female vocals at the end of, at the end of a syllable, whatever, just a slight S sound to it, but not bad. And not enough to be annoying, but possibly a little bit fatiguing for long-term listening. But like I said, I'm comparing these to much more expensive headphones, and the truth is, for the price, I would highly recommend this headphone. I really did enjoy this headphone, and like I said, for $90 retail, I've seen it for $80, $70 on sale, and I really do have to recommend this headphone to anybody that's looking for a full-size open back headphone under $100, and you're looking for an audiophile sound. These are not for bass heads. These are a very neutral headphone. They do have good bass extension, fairly dynamic, and this is going to give you a good taste of what a audiophile headphone is going to give you, but this is going to do it for $90 or less. So yes, I highly recommend this headphone if you're looking for an accurate, detailed sound under $100. Just one more thing I wanted to say before I wrap this up is I still have the Grotto SR80E. So, now I'm kind of up in the air of which I would recommend for someone looking for an audiophile headphone under $100. So I think I'm going to put together a shootout of the two headphones and see which one comes out on top. So I'm going to try to get that together in the next week. And in the meantime, once again, this is William from the Headphone Experience. If this video helped you, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you are all welcome to join us over at the Headphone Experience on Facebook. Thank you.